All right, guys. So it's a Texas Heights presentation, and we are talking about what was the best setup of the week. And this is really for me, the bag snatcher, coming to you directly, live and direct. The best trade for me was on pound, GBP USD. Obviously, I traded futures market, so 6BZ 2025 sounds very weird, but 6BZ is the pound. And what was presented here was a nice opportunity. Um, that price essentially gave us about, and if I'm being real, let's just see, 63, is that points, ticks, whatever. I don't even know how to calculate it, but points were risking 11. Um, ticks, points. Ever since I started trading for indices, I never really, or futures market, I never really cared to get it right. Coming from forex, just pips, 11 pips. But this one's like it's ticks or points, whatever. Points are risking 11 to get about what's that, 63. So it's a nice risk to reward. And we're gonna break down. I'm gonna break down exactly what took place here and why I was anticipating this and hawking this all week. And in fact, if you look on my Colossal Trader YouTube channel, which is my personal channel, I actually broke down what the markets are gonna do for the week, and forex was broken down, and I was expecting some sales to take place. In fact, I think we'll see further sales on indices. I mean, on the forex market, I think it's more clear the indices right now. Indices are just flying to new all time highs, but trading within the range is a forex market. I think it's a clear opportunity for the dollar to continue to move higher, and forex is the same thing. So let's get straight into it. Let's go on the daily chart. Let's just start from the daily chart to break this down. We're gonna go daily, then 4 hour, and then lower time frames. So just to begin with, on this daily chart, let me erase something here. Okay, when we started the week, which was on this day right here, we had in place this level daily fair value gap here. That was in place when we started. So price again started. Here's where the day started. I'm looking, okay, we have this level in place. I'm watching how does price want to slowly gravitate to this level. And then I'm expecting a sell-off. And I'm gonna show you why. But before that, actually, let's go on a weekly chart, right? Because you kind of see this weekly level, this orange level here, it says C4 minus. Let's go on that weekly chart to show you what all the negative charge that this level had, in my opinion. So one, this is a weekly C4 where we had this up close candle and then we had a down close candle immediately run back below that. So this creates a nice little C4 there, right? And price trades into this and then rejects. So going into next week, which is this week, I was expecting the same thing, expecting this level here, right? This week level to hold and potentially drop price lower, ideally below these lows and eventually below these lows. That's what I'm still expecting going forward. But if we go on this daily chart, and let me make this a full view actually. So if we go on this daily chart here, so we had that weekly level, that's settled, right? And we also have this daily loot zone or fair value gap, that's settled. Now, what even makes this more interesting is if you were to draw a fib, right, from this candle's high to low, we want to be selling above 50%. So 50% is right here. And above that is this level here, which actually coincides with a 75% level. So at that level, we have a loot zone. So this is supercharged, in my opinion, right? That's what I'm looking at. So supercharged, it's at a weekly level, it aligns to a weekly level, aligns to this daily level. You can see how price it just really stops right there to the T. So at this point, I'm watching that level, see if it wants to deliver it lower. And I still think we will continue to deliver lower, but we'll get into that. So I'm watching at the level we can continue to deliver lower. Overall, if you look at this daily chart, you kind of see the arc that's being presented here, right? We've gone up higher, and now it seems like we're going to break it down lower. So at minimum, I want to see another run below these lows and potentially below these lows over here. And just for a second here, just I haven't done this on my own. Let me just mark this up real quick. Let me just see. Cool. So again, it's overall range too. If you look at it, above 50% is also here. So everything was pointing to a potential premium. Okay, a potential premium. And you see what's lining up here, 50% of this whole range, it kind of aligns with this daily C4 we're seeing your order block here. So I will expect again another reaction from this level to drop price lower below this low as well. But that's a whole nother conversation. Um, Let's draw this on this side too. I'm just see something. If you guys just travel with me for a second, let's draw this too. Interesting. So you see, I also like how the 50% of this bigger range also aligns with this level. So everything was pointing to we're in the premium, we're in the premium, we're in the premium. So I'm going to delete this now for now. But overall, this is what I did see. This is what I was looking at for real. This swing here, and we had a 75% level. So there's a lot of confluence there, weekly level here. So immediately I'm thinking that's a negative level. We're likely to drop. If you look at the dollar, so now we're gonna bring in the dollar on the daily time frame as well. Whereas the dollar, boom. Even the dollar, right? If we draw it dropped into this level here, this daily level, and kind of see how we have a nice swing low forming there, nice short-term low forming on the dollar, which I believe can eventually run higher to attack all this liquidity here and run to this loot zone. So if you look deeper, we already had a run lower that disrupted these lows here. And now we can see the dollar trading back into this level. And ideally, I want to see us punch higher to wipe out all of this liquidity here on the dollar. So that's my expectations, the continuous movement of the dollar. And being that we've dropped all week already, right? Starting, what was it, Monday? Monday here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days of dropping. Thursday, kind of giving a little turnaround. So I think Friday might even give another push forward. That's forward thinking, but like I'm expecting dollars to keep pushing higher and eventually take out these highs. But being focused on today, price dropped lower into this level. So at that point, we can expect potential bullish movement higher from pound. I mean, bullish momentum higher for the dollar, but that in return will lead to the forex market doing the opposite, which is dropping. Let's look at euro for just a second. Again, euro had the same thing going on here, a run higher into this level, and we're starting to reject. And you see, euro has all these lows to take out. I know I have a lot of fibs here, but again, if you look at this fib too, you can see the 50% of this range below the high. It's really this fib right here, which aligns to this daily level. And then even this fib here, the 50% is around here, 75% is around here. So I'm just gonna delete this for a second. That's confusing. Boom. So look how price hit damn near the 70% and we're rejecting. So I like again the idea on pound is obviously weaker, but euro has all this liquidity in my opinion, it can still take out. So again, I'm just expecting further rejection, further movement away. And with all this that happened, all this consolidation at this point, forward thinking, price can easily use this little down close, this up close candle here, and this C4 that's been created. I would love to see that eventually reject price. So, but overall, if we're focused on today's price action only, all those elements were in place that I was looking at to see and expect the pound to move lower. And quite frankly, the euro, but the pound is what I took the trade on. So back to pound. Price trades in here, we can expect a rejection. Let's go on the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, nothing really there that I want to point out on the 4-hour chart. Let's go on the 1-hour chart for a second. Now the 1-hour chart here. So I want to say there was some SMT up. Let me see. Let me know. Oh, cool. Okay, so if you look at pound two, see this high at 8 o'clock was lower than this high. So remember 8 a.m. right? October was a lower high on pound. Notice how 8 a.m. for a dollar, it made a lower low. So ideally, pound should be making a higher high. If dollars make a lower low, pound should make a higher high. But pound couldn't even with dollars' low weakness at that moment. Pound didn't even have the momentum to make a higher high. So that was already an indication that there's weakness on the pound. And if you look at Euro GBP, you see that pound is actually weaker. But for just focus on the dollar and the pound here, there was weakness that was shown on the dollar. I mean, on the pound. Dollar made a lower low. That should have equated to the pound at least making a higher high. So let's get a pound again. It didn't even have the momentum, right? To make oh, now it's got me all messed up. So really euro, sorry about that. Euro didn't have the momentum to make a higher high. So again, point is SMT is SMT. Pound actually did have strength. So pound did have initial strength. So forgive me on that, I was wrong there. But there was SMT points. I like to see, regardless, some type of divergence from the norm. So the fact that you already showed that, right? And pound was showing some strength. It did not derail me from also still thinking that pound is going to be weaker. And part of that is, let's just take a look at, let's travel for a second to Euro GBP. You can see Euro has strength today over pound. So it made sense for pound to find its way lower. So Euro overall has more strength. You can see, yeah. So there's strength in Euro versus the pound. So that's why, regardless, yes, the SMT took place on the pound. I'm not dumbfounded in that because I understand that at the end of the day, if you look at the daily chart, you look at Euro GBP, Euro is gaining more strength over the pound. So I still want to sell pound overall. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why. Let's just look at the weekly chart for a second. Yeah. So you kind of see there's momentum on the Euro. Euro is stronger than the pound so far. These highs eventually might be taken on the weekly chart, but we'll see. I don't really trade Euro GBP. It's just a good way. The reason we want to ring in Euro GBP is a good way to gauge the Euro versus the pound to see who has upper hand. That way you can kind of decide what market you should be in terms of weakness or strength. If we're expecting weakness, and you're already seeing that the Euro has more strength over the pound, then you ideally want to hunt for the shorts on the pound. So that's why we were hunting those shorts on the pound as well. So I added to the elements there. And you can even see the difference between the way they dropped. I mean, kind of dropped similar, but you can see pound, in my opinion, was still clean. Both of them dropped overall because the dollar's still weak, but I took the pound trade. So, anyways, so we had this run up higher. So now pound is showing false strength, in my opinion, because we already know it's weaker than euro. And then we go into the next day, which is today's price action. We had a run higher first. We on that 15-minute chart. We again just make this run higher, and we start dropping, right? And we trade back into this level. Now remember, this purple level is the 75% of the range. So I want to see some type of, ideally, I want to see some type of reaction from that level. So I'm watching closely. We've traded higher. Cool. But we've then since rejected, right? And now we're going to 7 o'clock in the morning, which is when New York time starts. So we trade higher was another element. We are above opening price now. So when you're trading, when I'm trading, ideally, I want to enter around the opening prices. So midnight opening price, 7 a.m. opening price. I want to be, if I'm selling, I want to be entering above those levels or very close to them. So, anyways, price drops here. And I want to make sure there's no other any other else missing on this one. Yeah, price drops there. I'll make sure. And I think what we had here was 8 o'clock. See where 8 o'clock is on euro? It was still making some movements higher here. Look at pound. You kind of see pound just drifting lower. So that made sense. Where at 815 is all the way down here. Looking at euro, however, 815 or 8 o'clock is still all the way up here. So again, it's showing its weakness on the pound. And then you go on that 5-minute chart. You can see a nice little swing low or swing form from this candle's high to low. Draw a fib right there. Boom. Right at the 75% of this. You can kind of see how price just hung around there before releasing itself lower. So it was a nice little move, nice little swing, high to low. Price runs here. There's an order block. I'm gonna delete this because there's a lot going on, right? There's also C4 up close candles here. Draw them out. Price trades into that. And then we have price just melt and tumble into this 1 hour level. And then we can get into what that is for a second. Pretty much this loop zone here, but really it ran below previous day's lows and took a liquidity, and that was the trade. Nice, clean, beautiful setup. Beautiful, beautiful setup. So that trade I took. Now, one thing I'll point out here, guys, just so you know, I would love to show exact executions, which I do show in my Texas Heights group chat. And Texas Heights group chat, if you follow the page, if you want to join the Discord, leave a comment below. I think it's also in the bio, but in the Discord, I took a screenshot of the executions. I don't trade my funded accounts on my trading view, so you can't even see the executions here. And even with that, by the time I'm breaking down charts, if you have a funded account, you understand that they actually take away the execution, so you can't really see them. But I don't really have time to. I'm not one that just lies about shit I did or trades I took. It's not that deep for me. This is exact. I took this trade exactly, um, from this low all the way down to this high. Now I started peeling off when we hit, um, when we ran below these lows here. We hit this 4 hour level, this 1 hour level here. I peeled off, then I peeled off some more here, and I finally peeled off the last here. That's what I did. But the trade was a nice, beautiful, beautiful run, guys. And I think we can see some more further movement. So let's just keep a look on the pound. I think again, uh, price can perhaps trade just a little higher, and we still see some further dropping lower. I think this might be setting up a nice move to take out these lows. I'm still expecting that to take place. So we see price gravitate even higher back to this level. Keep in mind, this is 75% of this range. This is a nice order block here. Price can still hit that and then constantly still reject. So that's what I'm still expecting. I'm not expecting to go this high. If it does, my eyes are still on sell. So I'll be happy to take that on a Friday, especially being that the market has been going up all week. Because again, this is Monday. Actually, it consolidated Monday, consolidated Tuesday. We have run up Wednesday. So it's consolidation, manipulation, and perhaps this is the reversal / distribution. So now we've dropped here. Now I'm watching for a retracement and potential move further lower to perhaps take out these lows. So see what we get. I'm gonna draw this fib here. Now future forecasting. This should just been a video about trade setup, but anyways. So 50% of this range is here. Um, so it's here, which is kind of aligned with this 4 hour level to a degree. So we'll see. Look on that 4 hour chart. Price doesn't necessarily have to say below this, but if it does not close above it, that's good. If not, I don't really care because we still have this 4 hour nice little loot zone. But point is, price can trade a little higher. Let's go on a 50-minute chart to see where that level, where if there's any levels here. Yeah, it's a nice little order block here. 5-minute chart. Let's see something. Yeah, so this is the first level I'll watch. If it goes above that, cool. Then we'll start looking for higher levels. But for the most part, I'm still expecting a further sell. Anyways, that's that. There's anything else I want to cover? And if you look at Euro, this looks nice. Again, this is a level here. It's purple line. It's probably the 50 or 75% level. One of the two. It's purple. So it comes from a fib. So I will be watching if Euro trades higher. Euro has the obvious liquidity. I think pound rate took some liquidity, but like Euro says it's lows here. So again, yeah, it's 50% of the range. So price finds way higher. Oh, it's out here. Price finds way higher for Euro. I'm gonna be more intrigued to sell this bad boy lower. Okay. So that is that. I hope that was insightful. If you're not in the Texas Heights group chat and you're from Texas specifically, you might want to join. If you don't see the link in the bio, just drop a chat, just drop a comment in the video. Like this video, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel so we keep dropping more. That's the only way you get us encouraged. Keep doing this thing. This is free game, free knowledge. I'm telling you, this is a solid game, and we have way more coming in. So until next time, talk to you guys